Hey, so I think it's time to move into our favorite segment.
It is time for photography news.
Photography news. We're getting awfully good at that. That's great. So in photography news, I'm going to go ahead and delete the story about the topless model. So there's a great story on F-Stoppers this week about the iPad OS. Apple has added some really cool features to the new iOS for iPads. They're going to actually make it useful for photographers, which is pretty cool. A couple of those things would be like the ability to plug in an external drive, and that external hard drive enabled to load photos onto it or work off of it, and a better file system to be able to manage and move files around and stuff. So it's actually going to be a little more like a computer with floating windows and stuff. So it could actually be a pretty cool thing. You'll be fairly restricted to USB-C drives, which is kind of the way it's going, and that's all right. At the same time, you're going to get a little problem with the size of the hard drive and how much power that it draws. So not all hard drives will work. So you're going to have to get hard drives that are going to be specifically suited for doing this type of stuff, but it's actually pretty cool, a pretty cool addition. So if you're an iPad user or thinking about getting one, it could be, if they keep adding features and bringing it into the world with pro photographers. And in addition, they've also going to be adding to the new Mac OS and iOS the ability to use your iPad as a second monitor and even do your editing on it with the Apple Pencil built in natively into the iOS instead of having to use a third-party app. So it looks like that it actually could end up being, over the next 6 months to a year, and maybe even further out, that the iPad could be a really reasonable alternative for photographers to take with them when they're shooting on location and doing jobs on the road. Not to mention that Adobe has been promising for ages to add functionality for layers and basically giving you a more robust version of Photoshop for iOS and for mobile platforms. So all those things combined could mean that instead of taking more gear on the road, you could take an iPad, which would be a lot lighter and easier to get around when you're traveling and doing shoots on location. Add to that the ability to store your files on an external drive so it won't fill up your hard drive when you're on those, 3-week-long vacations to the Tetons or something to take landscape pictures. Looks like it could become a Tetons. Could be a reasonable opportunity or a reasonable alternative to taking heavier equipment with you. So it seems like that would be something photographers would pay attention to. Any interest by you in taking sort of a tablet? You're not much of a tablet guy, or you have kind of a phablet as a phone.
I have a phablet, and it's not as fab as I'd like it to be. I have the Galaxy
Nice.
Note 9, and the Note 4 was my favorite. That thing was huge. As I have big hands, I like a big screen. But no, I had them all. I had the 8-inch tablet, I had the 10-inch tablet, I have a laptop, I had all this stuff, and I have found that the big tablet, 10-inch tablets, they're too big and heavy to use. It's like if you're going to use something as big as a 10-inch tablet, you might as well just have a little laptop. It's going to do more for you. It's going to be more powerful. The best tablets, I think, are like the 8-inch tablets or 7-inch tablets, the ones that are like medium size. You can hold it in one hand, surf, read a book with it or whatever, but it's still bigger than your phone. That's a good size. But once you go up to like a 10-inch, I think they're kind of unwieldy. And to people who want to work on a 10-inch, they're like, I want to work but I also need a keyboard, and then I'm going to need some external stuff to plug in to make this work. And the next thing you know, you got all this stuff, and you're like, you could just bought a little Chromebook or whatever and gotten all the same. I'd probably been cheaper.
Probably the thing I've heard that people talk about the most is using like a Microsoft Surface, like those portable.
Like the Surface Pro.
Because it runs full Windows, external hard drives. You can run full versions of Photoshop and Lightroom. So for photographers, I still believe that's probably the best option for something portable, for portable computing for photographers.
It's still so expensive, though, because we need the very best computer. That's what sucks, is you can get such cheap laptops and stuff now, but we still need such extreme processing power for Photoshop that we've got to spend $2,000 if we want to get a decent laptop that we can work with on the road.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
Hey guys, Gary here. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to our channel here. You can check out some awesome new videos here, and go into the description of this video and you can get a link to where you can subscribe to the podcast and listen to the entire episode. We'd love to see you there. Thanks for watching.